class, right? Up to universal indicators. So any doubts up to this? Any doubts up to this? Okay. So next one is the importance of pH in everyday life. What is the importance of pH? First one in human body. So in the human body, a lot of chemical reactions will take place, right? So many biochemical reactions will take place, so that only our body will generate the energy. So several cellular reactions also takes place. All this will take place only at particular pH range, that is 7, around 7. So whenever the pH of the body change, those reactions also will change. I mean, the reactions will not happen properly, so that it will affect our functioning of our body. So I'll write the theory also. A lot of parameters are necessary for the proper functioning of the human body. So what is the pH of blood? Anyone? What is the pH of blood?
pH of
Blood. Human blood.
I can't hear you, sir.
pH of human blood.
So is it neutral or 3 to 4 something?
3 to 4.
It's neutral, sir.
It is around 7.2.
No.
Or you can say around 7.3 to 7.4. The pH of human blood should be between 7.4, or you can say 7.3 to 7.45. Okay. So this is the pH range, 7.3 to 7.45. So this is the first importance of the pH in our daily life, it's a human body. So whatever the fluids are going into our body or there in our body should be in the particular pH range only. Any doubts in this?
No doubt, sir.
The next one is the digestion process. So what is the meaning of acidity?
Sir, when there is too much of HCl in our body, HCl in the stomach,
Okay, what it will cause?
it will cause acidity, sir.
So how to prevent the acidity?
So neutralizing it. by eating anti-acid tablets.
What are those anti-acid tablets? What are the anti-acid tablets, anyone? No one?
So base.
Yeah, base, good. But what are those two anti-acid tablets? You know already. Milk of magnesia. What is the milk of magnesia formula? Guys, give me the answer. If it's wrong, no problem.
MgOH2.
MgOH taken by with magnesium hydroxide is also called as the milk of magnesia. So just I'm giving the complete notes for you. Just go through it once again. So it will be easy for you to revise afterwards. Anybody writing the regular notes or just visiting the class and leaving? Anybody is writing the regular class? Sorry, anybody is writing the notes or not regularly?
Yes, sir.
So
So can you once scroll up to the start?
This is the starting one.
The importance of pH in everyday life.
Importance of pH in everyday life. Next,
Huh.
human body.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Write the notes, which is very important for the 10th standard. Up to 9th it is different. If you don't want the notes, tell me. I won't give you any notes. I'll explain and I will leave. That's all. Can I do the same?
Sir, can you scroll down a bit? I can't see the last three lines of digestion.
Digestion.
Yeah, can you scroll down? I can't see the last three lines.
Now,
Yeah, sir, now it's fine.
okay. So what is the digestion? Importance of pH in the digestion. So everyone knows already. In our stomach we have the HCl, right? Hydrochloric acid will be present, which will be helpful in the digestion of the food. So when you are taking the too much of food, and due to that, too much of acid will be released. So whenever there is a too much of acid will be there in the stomach, it will cause the irritation and the pain, which will lead to the indigestion process. So to prevent this pain or the indigestion and the okay, so we'll take the syrups or the certain tablets. Those are called as an antacids. So generally we have the two antacids to prevent the acidity. That is the milk of magnesia or the baking soda. So milk of magnesia is nothing but the magnesium hydroxide, MgOH taken twice, and baking soda is the NaHCO3. So these two will be used to reduce the excess acid present in our stomach, right? That is only the pH. So how the pH plays in here? Whenever there is an excess of acid, the pH value of the stomach will decrease. Yes or no? More acidic nature na pH value will be low. Less acidic nature na pH value will be high. You have to maintain always the particular pH in our stomach. So according to that, we will take the antacids. Clear? So this complete paragraph is only about that. Any doubts in this?
No, sir.
No, sir.
So next one is the tooth decay. What will happen by tooth decay? We'll ask Nitya. Nitya, unmute yourself and tell what is the meaning of tooth decay. Can I scroll?
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of tooth decay?
Sir, can you go up against once?
Fine.
Okay, sir, done.
Nitya. Ritvik. What is the meaning of tooth decay, Ritvik? Modita.
Yes, sir.
What is the meaning of tooth decay?
What, sir? I just joined.
Tooth decay.
Sir, once can you type it in the chat?
I'm writing on the screen. Can you able to see now?
No, sir. Actually, it's loading for me. Actually, just now joined. It said like 5 minutes for me to adjust actually the voice and everything.
Okay. So how the pH will affect on the tooth decay, damaging of the teeth? Anyone? Remaining
Sir, decay of tooth by action of acids.
by the action of acids. How the acids is forming in the mouth?
Sir, bacterias. Like,
Okay. Can you tell the complete?
so whenever we eat food, some certain bacteria in our mouth decompose the remaining food overs. That is what I suppose.
So when we take the food, after eating, if you don't wash the mouth properly, little amount of food will be left in our mouth, right? So whatever the food left in our mouth, It will be decayed with the help of the bacteria. So during the process, it will produce the acids. So whenever the acid content increase in our mouth, which will decrease the pH value of the mouth, so that the tooth enamel will start degrading. So once the tooth enamel is lost, it will affect the nerves and the teeth directly. That is called as in tooth decay. Are you understanding my handwriting or not? So when the tooth decay will happen? Whenever the pH value of the mouth falls below 5.5, it will start the tooth decay. It is nothing but the damaging of the top layer of the teeth. That is called as an enamel. So anybody can you tell the chemical formula of enamel?
Sir, sodium, no, sir.
Sodium?
Sodium carbonate, I think so.
No. Calcium phosphate.
Oh.
Enamel is made up of calcium phosphate. This is a simple one actually. The remaining actual enamel formula is different, but simply you can say it is a member of the calcium phosphate family. Okay. So simple thing is, when we take the food and if we don't wash the mouth properly after the eating, whatever the food left in our mouth will be break down into the acids with the help of the bacteria present in our mouth. So when the pH fall below 5.5, it will start damaging the enamel, that is the outermost layer of the teeth. So that is only the hardest part of the teeth. Enamel is the hardest part of the teeth. Once it got damaged, so whatever the inner layers of the teeth will get damaged easily. So it will damage the nerves or whatever the things are there inside the teeth. So it will cause the pain. That is only called as in tooth decay. So to prevent the tooth decay, what we have to do? To prevent this tooth decay, what we have to do? Anyone? Brush twice a day. Next. Next, any other? Wash your mouth immediately after the eating, right? And using the toothpaste, which is basic in nature. So when you use the toothpaste basic in nature, whatever the excess acid present in our mouth, it will be neutralized. So brushing twice a day or immediately washing our mouth after the eating, using the toothpaste, which is basic in nature. These are the prevention techniques for the tooth decay. So these
So
also
rinsing our mouth after eating.
sorry.
Rinsing our mouth.
Yeah, rinsing the mouth after the eating or giggling. What do you say? Giggle. Exact. What is the word?
Goggling.
Goggling. Sorry. Giggling is different, right? So this is all about the tooth decay. So the first one is a common body about the blood. Next one is the digestion. The third one is the tooth decay by an acids. The fourth one is a self-defense by animals and plants. Self-defense of an animals and plants through chemical warfare.
So once can you scroll up?
1 minute. So what is this self-defense by animals and plants through chemical warfare? What is the meaning of that?
So once,
Sorry.
so more can you scroll up?
Okay. Fine.
Yes, Shraddha.
What is the meaning of chemical warfare by the animals and plants for the self-defense? So whenever the bee, or whenever if you take the ants, whenever the ant bite, what will happen? It will cause the pain, right? Because inside the ant they have the formic acid which will inject in the skin. So whenever the ant injects the formic acid in our skin, it will cause the pain. So to reduce that pain, what we can do, sorry, you have to apply some basic solution. Either it can be soap or baking soda or something which is basic in nature. So this base will go and react with the acid present in our skin and it will neutralize. Understanding? Or when you take the nettle leaves, some plant leaves, which will inject the methanoic acid. So when they are injecting the acid, it will also cause the irritation or the pain. So to reduce that pain also, again you have to add the basic substance. You have to apply the basic substance. So for their self-defense, they'll inject some acid or the base in our body. To reduce the pain, you have to apply the opposite of that. The acid is injecting now, you have to apply the base. The base is injected, you have to apply the acid. That is only the self-defense by animals and plants through the chemical warfare. So this is the fourth one. Can I write the theory part or just is it enough?
It is enough, sir.
Okay, so with this you have finished with the pH values. So any doubts in the pH?
No, sir.
pH scale. What is acidic in nature? What is the basic in nature?
No doubts, sir.
Dilution of an acid base indicators. So last topic is that is the salts. Till now we have studied only about the acids and the base in the given chapter. Now we are going to study about the salts, which is very, very important. And compulsory you will get one question or the two questions from this in the competitive side. What is the meaning of salt?
So it's a salt.
Yeah.
So salt is a neutral insoluble substance.
Salts are the neutral insoluble substance. Next.
It is obtained during neutralization reaction.
Okay. Generally, when you take the salts are the ionic compounds. Salts are generally the ionic compounds which contain cation. Okay, that is nothing but the positive ion and anion. What is the meaning of anion?
Negative ion.
Negative ion. Okay. That positive ion that is other than H plus ions. And negative ion that is other than OH minus ions. These are the salts. If you have the H plus ion and if you have the OH minus ions, it will form H2O, right?
So
It's
one
not
dot,
the
sir.
salt. Yeah.
Sir, it's related to the hydrogen chapter, sir. The pH, sir.
Not related to pH at all. It's completely new topic again. Salt.
No, sir. I have a doubt related to pH.
Yeah.
That how do we express bases in terms of hydrogen?
How do you express?
Bases in terms of hydrogen. Like bases dissociate hydroxide, right?
Yeah.
How can we say the pH of bases is low? Like,
Okay, now you can see. When you take the water, the H plus ion is equal to OH minus ion concentration is equal to 10 power minus 7. First point. And pH is directly proportional to the OH concentration. If the pH is more now, the OH concentration also more.
yes. So
Suppose
actually
if
in the
it-
textbook, the question was, does bases consist of hydrogen?
Thus basis,
Consist of hydrogen.
yeah,
Let me read the question.
yeah, I can understand. I understand your question. See here. Just read it out once again. No problem.
No, 1 second, sir. Yes, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so the question is, do basic solution have H plus ions in aqueous solution? If yes, then why are they basic?
See here, I have written on tabular column here, right? Can you see?
Yes, sir.
So generally, when you take the acids and bases, both contain the H plus ions and the OH minus ions. But if you take the acids, the H plus ion concentration is very, very high.
Okay, sir.
But OH minus concentration is very less when we compare to the H plus. But it contains both H plus along with the OH minuses.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Next, bases. It also contains the both H plus as well as the OH minus. But the concentration of OH minus ions is more and more than the H plus ions. Understanding?
Yes, sir.
pH is always directly proportional to OH minus concentration, and pH is always inversely proportional to the H plus ion concentration. Okay,
Yes, sir.
clear now?
Yes, I got it.
So it's all done. Okay. So salts are the ionic compounds which contain the cation other than H plus ion and anion other than the OH minus ions. So examples are what? I will tell some examples of salt. Examples of salt. Anyone?
Sir, sodium sulfate,
Sodium sulfate. Okay, good. Formula
Na2SO4.
Na2SO4. Next,
Sodium chloride.
sodium chloride. Next,
Sir, potassium sulfate.
potassium sulfate. Next, other than kavya,
Sir, copper
Sodium
sulfate.
carbonate.
sodium,
Sodium carbonate.
sodium carbonate. Okay, good. So these are some examples of salt which contain both positive ion and the negative ion. So again, the salts are three types. Okay. The types of salts, the three types of salts are there. One is the neutral salt. Next one, acidic salt and the basic salts. Neutral means what? When you are mixing the strong acid and the strong base, it will form the neutral salt. Or when you are mixing the weak acid and weak base, it will form the neutral salt. But acidic salt will be formed when it will be formed strong acid and
Plus
weak
weak
base.
base.
Are you understanding? SAWB, or can I write fully?
No, sir, understand.
So best examples are NaHCO3, okay, or NaHSO3. These are the best example for acidic salt. Still the salt is having the hydrogen ion. Okay, that's what is the strong acid and the weak base. When you are combining, it will form the acidic salt. Neutral salt means strong acid and strong base, weak acid and weak base. Third one, basic salt. Weak acid and strong base. Best example is NgOH-Cl. Okay, in this we have the one OH group is there still. So when you are combining the strong base and the weak acid, it will form the basic salt. Neutral examples are what? NaCl. Next, Na2SO4. These are the examples for the neutral. Is it clear now? Is it clear or not?
Yes.
Clear, sir. Yes.
Neutral salt, acidic salt, basic salt. Any doubts in this?
Sir.
Next, identification of the salt, which is very, very important. So I can write one simple equation for the salt, that is, whenever the acid combined with the base always form salt and water. So whenever the salt is there, compulsory there will be one acid and one base, right? Yes or no? If you take any salt, compulsory there will be one acid and one base in that or not? Don't know. The next topic is identification of salts. Suppose if you take any salt, we have the two names. First name is the base. Listen carefully this topic because compulsory you will get one or two numericals or the MCQ questions on this in the competitive side. Second name is the acid. Okay. Best example is base means what? OH group. Acid means what? It is a H+1. Take example like sodium, NaCl, sodium chloride. What is the name of sodium chloride? Sorry, sodium chloride, right? Sodium chloride. The first part is which will form base, right? Or understanding?
No, sir. How is it base?
Always salt is there. The first part will come from the base. The salt first part will come from the base, and the salt second part will come from the acid.
Okay.
Okay. First part is coming from the base. Sodium plus base. What you will get? Sodium hydroxide. Are you understanding? The second name is come from the acid. So chlorine plus acid. What formula you'll get? This is the acid. How many of you understand this?
Understood, sir.
Raise the hands first. How many of you understand that? Harshil, Kavya. Remaining didn't understand. Okay, no issues. See here. Always the first part will come from the base. The first part of the salt always come from the base, or the first name of salt come from base. Base means you have to add the first name of salt plus OH. Next one, second name of salt. Come from acids. So acid is second name plus H plus ions. Is it clear now?
Yeah, sir.
So we'll take one more example. Na2SO4.
But it's sodium hydroxide and sulfuric acid.
What is the name? Sodium
Sulfate.
sulfate. So for first name, you have to add the OH
Hydroxide.
minus. So what sodium is Na plus 1 plus OH minus 1. When you combine these two, what you will get? NaOH, that is sodium hydroxide, that is the base. Sulfate plus H plus ion. That means H plus 1 plus sulfate means what? SO4. SO4 what? Minus 1, minus 2, minus 3.
-2, sir.
Minus 2. When you combine these two, what you will get?
H2SO4.
H2SO4. What is this? Acid.
Sir.
So what is the base in this and what is the acid in this? Base is the NaOH. That is the sodium hydroxide. Acid is the H2SO4, that is the sulfuric acid. I hope now you understand everyone.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now I'll give you some more examples. You solve it and give your answers in the chat box. Only personal message to me, okay? Identify the acid and the base and tell me the answers. Do it fast for these three. Send
So
all
we
the
need
three.
to identify if they are base or acid.
You have to identify the acid and base in the given salts. So write down all the three answers only in one message.
The my answer.
CHCO3 name is what? Calcium
Calcium bicarbonate.
bicarbonate. The first name come from the base. So calcium plus base means calcium OH minus, right? How you will write Ca will show +2 plus OH will show -1. When you combine these, you will form CaOH taken twice. That is a base. Understand? Bicarbonate. Bicarbonate means it will come from the acid. So you have to add the H plus. So H plus plus bicarbonate formula is HCO3 minus 1. When you combine these two, you will get H2CO3. That is the acid. This is a carbonic acid. This is the base, calcium hydroxide. Clear now? So for the first name, you have to add the OH group. Second name, you have to add the H plus. And we have to do the crisscross method to get the acid and the base. Fine?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So we'll end the session here. Thank you again. Bye-bye. I'll inform you in about the next